Can you say hard hats, folks? Hard hats, lunch pail, steel toe boots.
Anything short of a championship this year is a failure. Look at this boomer right here.
You've just got so much talent here.
Somebody said we need to apologize for Jaylen.
Can I close it, John? What are we apologizing for? What did we say? What did we do?
Da-na,
Okay.
I'm asleep at the wheel. I'm asleep at the wheel. Yeah. It's okay. It's at the game today, so
That's
he's
okay.
busy.
Jimmy
It's
Toscano
okay.
doing his best John Zannis impersonation tonight, wearing the glasses.
And you can see I got a ring camera. You can see it in my eyes. Guys, I have glasses on so that I will not touch my left eye because it wants to jump out of the eye socket. Something is going on with my left eye right now, and I can't figure out what it is. And I keep wanting to do the whole this thing. And so glasses are on so that every time I try to, I can't. So that's where we're at with the glasses. I don't think I look cool. I'm not wearing them because I want to make a statement. I'm protecting my own health right now.
You don't
Protecting
look
myself from myself.
Cool. Yeah, no, confirmed. You do not look cool.
Thank you
that's
for
not,
confirming. Yeah.
that's okay.
Where we're
They
at.
called this a dumber double boomer show, and Jimmy has maybe because he's
What?
doing because you're doing the Zannis impression. That's why. That's all.
Okay. Because let's be real. I ain't no boomer.
I ain't no boomer.
I ain't no boomer. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Not
No
that
big
there's
deal that
anything
all the
wrong with
boomers took all our land and they just
that.
no big deal that they're draining Social Security. It's totally fine. Boomers are cool with me, man.
You don't need it.
Have at it. We're cool. Us millennials
No,
and Gen Zers, we'll be fine. Don't worry about us.
Actual boomers destroyed your social security. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, you're on the tail end.
So yes, exactly.
It's not pink eye, Eric. I knew that was going to happen. It's not.
If you want to go full Zannis, and I don't suggest you do that. Ignore Zannis and go at people.
You never go full Zannis.
You idiots don't understand. No.
You never go full Zannis.
Go full
that's
Zannis.
The rule. Yeah, you don't come back. It's like Hollywood.
You
never go full Zannis.
Can't go full Zannis. So hey, the kids are back. The kids are back at the Garden.
They're having a good time.
Yeah. So they'll be hanging out, having a great time.
And we'll have a great time here.
Yeah.
I think.
And you guys, anyone who's expecting me to say bad things about Jaylen hasn't been watching the last few shows, but that's okay.
Yeah, they're telling on themselves.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. You're not privy to the new shit. Observations. You're not privy to all the new shit, man.
Yeah, you're not up on it.
You're not up
You're
on
not
it.
hip.
A lot of ins and outs.
Observations.
Anyway,
We got all NBA Jaylen tonight. That's my first observation. I think everybody probably had because we've been having some debates back and forth stemming from me and Bobby's quick convo about is Jaylen Brown all NBA or is he not? What you're about to say something?
No, I'm just kind of doing your thing. I agree.
No, yeah, that's
forth.
my main observation. I think that's it's we're coming down the stretch here of the regular. We're trying to find things to talk about, guys. So like let us entertaining you. So we've been having a convo. Is Jaylen Brown an all NBA player this year? Is he a fringe guy? Is he locked into the second or third team? And we had a quick back and forth, me and Bobby did, I think last week, and it stemmed into a little bit of a bigger debate. And I think even since then, Jaylen Brown's had some really good games. And I think you could make a very good case that he is on that, at the least on that third all NBA team. But there's a lot of names on that.
You might have to recalibrate the camera when you do the thing.
Oh, because it starts to look at I'm Windhurst.
What's it gonna do?
Honestly, I'd rather be blurry right now.
That's okay.
I'd rather be blurry. Amit's got a new webcam for me, I think. But anyways,
here comes
Jaylen Brown showed up.
Even Cass, no doubt. Jaylen will get to near the back end of the show. Other observations for sure.
Yeah. Well, closing thoughts, Jaylen tonight.
Closing thoughts, everyone. What do you guys think of Jaylen?
No, the other guy's another obvious one.
I have a strong Jaylen take, but
Okay.
my global theme tonight was this is kind of a game like tonight is kind of why you don't have a lot of concern about most opponents they'll face in the first round. We're trying to talk ourselves into like, I wouldn't want to play that, and I wouldn't want to play this, in maybe Miami and maybe that.
Right.
But I think that's just like, you got to talk about something, right? But like Phoenix is a perfect example of a good team with some really good players who theoretically should be able to, challenge you, who really wasn't a challenge for you, and you didn't have Kristaps Porzingis, and it was fine. And it's just a team that you beat. And again, yes, I agree. It's the PTSD from past performances, which we have to convince ourselves of. Isn't this Celtics team. It can't find this Celtics team again because at the core are Tatum and Brown, but you do get a sense, and this is where I'm going for Brown. I don't think Brown's fucking around right now, and that's what that's something I like. Like,
Whoa!
Meaning like Tatum still always scares me. I don't like the variance on his shots. And like, look at first half, second half. Like, yeah, he had a great first half, but there's the pull-ups and the tough shots. Like, my least favorite Tatum is the top 5 Tatum. Tatum is cooking tonight, Tatum. Because that's just, well, the shots fell tonight. But like, and like it's great when it happens, but then when it doesn't happen, it's like, ugh, and they're hard shots and they're not great. Like, it doesn't matter. All I'm saying is you've seen Tatum mentally take himself out of games when those shots don't fall and it have a trickle down impact on things. So he always concerns me more than Brown, who doesn't concern me at all, because he cleaned up the one area of his game that did worry you a little, this year and certainly lately, which is, turnovers. And like, you put the ball in his hands and you let him do his thing, and it's going to result in bad shit because, he's sloppy with the ball. He's tightened that up, I think, mainly because he's making just better decisions about when to do the things that he's doing instead of just charging forward. But since the All-Star break, is there any question who the best player on the team is?
No, it's been Jaylen.
It's Brown by like a bit right now. And not only that, if you look at the other interesting thing is he has outshot Tatum, I think, in maybe 6 out of 10 games or something like that. I forget exactly what the final tally was, but he's kind of taking the lead. Like, how many games have we said that where did Brown go, right? Like, he started hot and he led the offense and then he disappeared. That's the other thing not happening now. He's kind of like, nah, I'm not going to do that anymore. Like, and whether that's on him, whether it's the Celtics involving him more or him just saying, because the question was always like, do they forget about him, or does he need to insert himself into it? And
I'd love to look at the numbers,
and that's what he's doing. And honestly, like, I like the quality of his shot profile better than I like Tatum's a lot of times. I like how he goes about it. I like that he's tougher around the rim and harder to guard in that regard. And but it's the attitude and the way he's approaching it now that's really super super impressive from him now, because he hasn't faded. He hasn't disappeared. In fact, he's kind of been put it on my back. I mean, Tatum, for as hot as he was in the first half, and clearly the first half story, I think went 1 for 8 in the second half. He just kind of went away. And Brown, when the game was won, is when Brown, and the rest of, many other people there along the way took it over.
Yeah. So what was their first game out of the break? Was that Washington on the road or at home? I'm not even sure, but looking at his numbers from February 18th, he's a different animal right now.
Yeah.
I mean, just
30 plus points a game.
1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, he's got 5 games with well over 30. Like you said, John, the shot taking and the shot making is just a different level than it was before that All-Star break. Maybe it was the dunk contest, John. Maybe that's what it was. He got the little bit of that limelight, didn't go the way he wanted it to, but now he's got a little bit of a fire under his ass to say, all right, on to the things that actually matter now. And
last time I take a back seat to this guy.
Yeah. Well, as soon as when it was, John, when he watched Tatum walk out the door before the dunk contest ended, he said, F this guy and F this. I'm
That was
taking over.
behind the scenes was the Arthur clenched fist that we didn't see.
Yeah, exactly. Forget the glove. He was like, he dunked the ball like this somehow. The clenched fist. Yeah, I don't
But
know
it's bananas
necessarily
right now.
why.
Look at the since the All-Star game, they came out of the gate with Chicago, scores 21, but then he goes 30, 31, 25, 29, 21, 41, 27, 27, 37. Just friggin'
Right there.
bringing it. And the shots as well. I mean, it's been unreal. So he's absolutely oh, okay. We're gonna get Joe talking about Jaylen here. He's hard to not talk about
I'd
as
hope
much
so.
as we. Yeah.
One of the things he said recently.
Shoot, Cass, I'm sorry. I won't drop him off.
Uh-oh.
Sorry.
We have to get
Sometimes,
that, post production. You know what we'll do? We'll have Amit go through and beep out the swears post production. Another thing for Amit to do. He doesn't have enough on it. The live, we can't apologize for anything that happens live, but we can go in after the fact and clean it up for everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he got something definitely.
He's been a plus in every single game since February 11th. How about that?
Yes.
And before that, there were a lot of minuses that showed up there. So
yeah.
Something's different. We're a month that goes back over an entire month now. So there's something changing in the tides with Jaylen Brown, and I think we all listen. It's not stunning to see him put up numbers like this, but I think it's maybe refreshing is the word to see it as consistently as it's been happening and as regularly as it's been happening. We all know what he's capable of, and the 3-point shots are falling now more than they used to. And I think not too long ago we said, "Oh, I don't really shoot that many threes," and I was like, calling BS on that. But the 3-point shots are ticking up. Obviously, we know that Golden State tried to embarrass him a bit by the way they defended him and forced him or dared him to shoot, and he did, and he made him pay, and he's just been going strong ever since.
In a sliding doors universe, I'm so interested what would have happened if he came out and missed those first 3 shots against Golden State from 3.
Yeah.
If that would have sent him on a totally different path.
Yeah, two different worlds. Yeah,
just exactly.
Choose your ending. It's like
I really.
You know what's sick, John, is that you'd love to see what would have happened. You'd love to go back in time and have him miss.
Totally. I like stories, Jimmy. I don't care, good or bad. It's fun to talk about. But the Jaylen takeover right now is a really good story, and
great story.
It sounds it's cliches and hyperbole or superlatives and blah 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 and all that stuff. But there's definitely a vibe of even that game where they, which one was it where they didn't play great and we were annoyed and. Most people were like, I got good shots and it was fine. And we could learn from this one. It was Denver probably. And it was like, yo, we liked our looks. And then, and then Jaylen's like, nah, man, that sucked. We got to be better. We got to clean it up. And he even said Tatum has to be more aggressive in these moments,
Cleveland,
maybe Cleveland. We can't be passive, we can't be passive. We can't make these dumbass mistakes. I love that, because the older version would say we. Can I call everybody out? We got to be better. And then he's like, nah, let's go, let's friggin' do it. So I like that. But that's the mentality he's playing with right now, which is full on
leadership type stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, which is great. That was the Cavs game. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he did have some choice words after the Nuggets too. He was also that might have been the game where he specifically mentioned Tatum. Not Taylor, I forget now, but
who's this we?
Who's we? Right.
It wasn't just Brown to say we. Everyone would say we rather than say I. But Brown was like, we got to do it. Me and Jason are the leaders. We got to do it, and he can't be so friggin' passive. There, I said it. Next, love that.
So let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Because we can't just only have nice things. Are you equally concerned about Tatum recently as you are impressed by Brown, or are the two unrelated, or what's going on with the other half of the two-headed monster?
Tatum's I've always felt that way about Tatum. He always freaks me a little. just because of the high variance and the degree of difficulty. You always want to see him get easier shots, better looks. I like when he goes to the basket, but sometimes the finishing is inconsistent. Across the board, his numbers are outstanding. It's really hard to quibble, but you're just talking about when it gets really, really hard and people clamp down. Who breaks more? I think Tatum breaks more, Like Tatum can be thrown off more than Brown can in these situations. Like Tatum overall, the big picture, and you look at everything and you look at all of the numbers and you look at the metrics year over year, they're very impressive, but it's just, how does he get shook? I think he does get shook a little bit more, and than Brown does. I mean, throw out Game 7 last year, which was a nightmare for Brown, and you go back to the Golden State series, and it was Tatum struggled all the whole time, and when Golden State really clamped down.
So it's mental.
I mean, I think there's two things, right?
The DNA thing.
Two things. I think he is a rhythm and a streaky scorer, and so therefore he has to shoot quite a bit, and he has to take the type of shots that get him going. But when he can't get those going, sometimes he either forces the issue or, as we've seen recently, takes a little bit of a back seat, which Joe praised because it's like, take the game. And I got no problem with that if he's contributing other ways. But sometimes it gets in his head and it rolls over into his defense, and it might affect other parts of his game more so than whatever. And then, he gets into ISO mode where he's like, all right, I'm really going to do it. And the defenses load up. The other is just simply athleticism. Like, Brown's just a better athlete, and therefore he's just tougher to stay in front of. So when he decides he wants to go just based off of strength, speed, athleticism, physicality, he's going to get where he wants to go more often than Tatum is going to. We've seen really good defenders lock down Tatum. I mean, look at a great example of like Ben Simmons, when Ben Simmons was still considered an elite defender, all defensive team sort of guy. He gave Tatum some problems. Jaylen Brown dropped 47 on him in a game. It's different. He's harder to defend because of that quickness and that athleticism and the strength there. So Tatum he doesn't worry me because he does so many things well. I just think offensively he can be accounted for a little based on his style and based on everything else around him, whereas Brown is a little bit tougher. So when Brown's playing at this level, you kind of do want him to take the majority to take more shots. I don't mind it at all. Yeah, and I agree there.
You want to play the clip? See what Joe has to say?
We could, yeah. And also, one thing we didn't talk about is Joe Mazzulla trying to going for a block. Ahmed, if somebody asked him about that, please tell me someone asked me. Right now, this is Joe talking about Jaylen, but also Joe Mazzulla during an attempted timeout tried to block a shot from a friggin' from a Phoenix Suns player, which is among the more insane things I've ever seen a coach do in a game. And I don't know how it's not
up
like
there. What's the equivalent?
A national story. And Ahmed, send Bobby into the locker room to go find that, okay?
Be like Claude Julien, like taking a slap shot against like
it's the weirdest thing. Yeah. Hold on.
Like Bill Belichick going and like blocking a pass.
Hold on. Yeah, it was crazy, but here he is on Brown.
With Jaylen, he's not only scoring, he's reading passing lanes like a DB.
He's playing so well.
Like
both ends of the floor.
Yeah, what is he doing
I love you, Gary.
to be able to kind of get those steals?
Just processing the game. I think he's really taken a point of emphasis to be a well-rounded player. I think everything with him starts with his defensive intensity, and I think guarding one of the other team's best players and getting off to a great start on defense is what kind of gets him going. And, I think that's big for our team. And he's doing a great job of the balance, right? Like, he can score on anybody anytime, and he's taking the ones early in the shot clock when he feels like he had an advantage, and he's slowing down, reading the game when he doesn't. And it's been a huge just growth for him. And, it's a different layer for our team when he's aggressive, especially getting to the free throw line and creating opportunities for other people. So, he's playing really well-rounded basketball on both ends. It's fun to watch.
We do have some reaction. Obviously, Gary asked about it. Thank God bless Gary. What would we talk about?
Thank God. If only we had a guy there to ask questions.
All of you Gary haters. Hey, when you ran horns in the third quarter with Tatum and Brown up top,
yeah,
They did actually.
Why'd you get away from that in the fourth? Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, stupid stuff.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Psycho Joe. Psycho Joe is great when you're winning, right? It's like mean. That's why I keep making the Bill comparisons. Mean Bill was great when they were winning too. Everyone's like, he cooked that reporter,
You know what though? I've been watching The Dynasty. By the way, I was in it. Not sure if you saw me in episode 7 or 8. Anyways, besides that, you can see how Bill just got colder and colder and colder as the years went, because his press conferences really weren't that bad the first 10 years. And then right after, I think it might have been right after, things got exponentially worse after Deflategate, but they were bad before then too. It might have been the first gate. What's that? I'm blanking on it, but it was right around 2000. I felt like 8. Bill really got colder. Anyways, I'm going off topic, but Dynasty.
No, it did. It might have been from the. I don't know. He did for sure. Spygate for sure. But
Spygate. Thank you. I can think of the.
Oh, is that what you're trying to get at?
I blocked that. I blocked that out of my brain. Spygate. That one. There's a little bit of legitimacy to that gate. There's no legitimacy to Deflategate, but there's a little legitimacy to Spygate. That being said, everybody was doing it because he did it, but everybody was doing it
because he did it.
Because he did it, but I think, listen, Mangini's a punk, and I don't think it was that big of a deal. Like you said, everybody was doing it. Like Pink Stripe said, everybody was doing it.
Yeah. Okay.
So
anyway, so
after that, Bill got very cold.
In case you missed it, I think it was after the Jaylen dunk. Yes, it was after the Jaylen steal and dunk, which when Phoenix called a timeout, when Phoenix stupidly called a timeout because they had numbers because Jaylen decided to pose. So they were 5-on-4 going back. I was shocked that they called the timeout, but when they did, whoever had the ball in his hands, to kind of shot a logo 3 after the whistle, and Mazzulla comes off the bench and swipes at it, trying to block it.
Yeah, that was awesome. I wish he got a piece of it.
Oh my God, wouldn't that have been great? So here,
that would have been messed up, actually.
Here is the totally sane head coach of the Boston Celtics talking about what he did there.
It's probably going to go viral, the block, but you don't care, and it just seems like there's a certain sense of philosophy. As long you're going to carry it out, and you don't care what it looks like to anybody.
I mean, there's a dead ball. I did it last year. I've done it multiple times, so I don't care. At the end of the day, it's about the mindset and the approach that we bring, and it's within the rules of the game.
And kind of to Jared's question, the players have to pick up on it. Regardless of how this looks, we're sticking to what we do.
What are they going to do?
I'm just saying, that's got to be it reflects positive on you.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Listen, like I said, it's about just setting a tone. It's that. And so one of the biggest pet peeves is just, thinking that a guy's just going to get a free shot. It's just not the way it works. And if we're going to hold our team to the standard, to hold the staff to the same thing. So, there's been times where we've missed it, and I've held the staff accountable to it. And you got to do the best job you can of not doing it.
Did you find them, or did you do?
Just a strong conversation about what the expectations are.
So Joe's
crazy.
telling
he's crazy. Okay.
So I thought you were just gonna say something funny and cute, I don't know, the moment got the best of me. But the reality is you're crazy. He's freaking going.
This is on the whiteboard.
Hey, Charles, Sam, come here. What the was that? How did you let that guy get a shot off when they called the timeout in the second?
It was the end of the third quarter. How could you let him think the buzzer went off?
Oh my God. It's not just that. It wasn't a thing. It's a thing.
He sees no issue with it. In fact, he's in the right. He's actually in the right. There's no free shots.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I love how he said it's within the rules.
Gary's question, what Gary was trying to say in the nicest way possible is, so it's kind of cool that your players stick with you when you do psychotic shit like that.
Yeah. They got your back, right?
They got your back is what he was actually asking, but he couldn't say it. He's like, so the players are all right with that buffoonery? And he was like,
Yeah, it's expected. In fact, I've told
we
them all
talk
to do
about
that.
it. Seminars, you know.
People have been suspended and
Oh.
fined for not doing it.
Oh, that was better than I could have ever hoped.
Let's watch it
Oh
again.
my God. Later. We'll bring it back with those guys. God,
Look at
thank
Bobby's
you, Joe.
reaction to it.
Oh, it was so good.
Yeah, that is great.
He's really a crazy person. That's terrific.
This team
Really
needs
is.
a little. They need a little crazy. They need some crazy in them. You know what I mean? They need a crazy person running around doing that type of things. They might be too tame without Crazy Joe, Coach Crazy
Yeah.
Joe.
That's just great.
I kind of like it.
Ah, shit. I do. I don't know what we'd do without that. That was great.
Gary's trying to tiptoe around it, be nice about it, but straight up, yeah, I'm crazy. He's just like, yeah. We expect to block anything that gets shot after the whistle. Running suicides if we don't.
I don't know, man. Good for him. Like I said, that stuff plays great when you're 52-14, you know, because it's like, yeah, come get the belt, you know, MFers, you know, like whatever. I can do all sorts of weird shit right now, you know.
Yeah, I can do whatever I want.
I can do whatever I want. You know, just just start dancing around the press conference. It doesn't matter. It's friggin' great. It's friggin' great. And this is from our boss. I should pin this one. Oh no, here he is. That's not my boss. Fuzzy, you're not the boss.
Fuzzy's not
You're
the
not the
boss.
boss of me, Fuzzy.
Not today. I just spit out my vodka. Yep, that sounds about right.
That's the guy. That's the guy who signs our checks.
Thursday night. Yep. Checks out. Spit out my vodka.
I'm just gonna leave that up there.
What he means is his martini.
Oh crap. I just spit out my vodka.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Nick's a vodka guy.
Yeah. So yeah. Oh, that's great. I don't know where to go anymore. I think we just wrap it.
That's the show.
Show's not getting better.
No, not after that. Is Sherrod there tonight? No, he would have been on the show by now.
Sherrod was supposed to be on tonight.
Uh-oh. Should we do a check?
I don't know.
Check up on him. Make sure he's good.
I don't know. I'll check it. I'll check it out. Filibuster for a minute, Jimmy. I got to do something.
Okay. Why not? We talked a lot about Jaylen Brown.
Start playing the flute.
The other guy. The other guy without Horford. Don't go do something. What are you bothering me for?
You want me to do what I wanted to do?
No. What is that?
Uh-huh.
I want to talk a little bit about Al Horford if we get.
All right, let's do it. But first.
Oh, that's the filibuster. Damn it.
PrizePicks. I said to find it.
PrizePicks. That's fine.
PrizePicks.
I'm a PrizePicks guy.
Are you?
I'm having some fun with it. I'm not winning yet, but I'm having some fun with it.
Yeah. Are you?
Yeah, I am.
Fun. I thought Tatum was a lock tonight because I knew he didn't play a good game against Phoenix last time. And I know he loves to show out against like KD, who keeps like saying nice things about him. And, you know, that's, you know, and, you know,
kindness.
No, but I think he really wanted it with Porzingis out here as well. But for those of you who don't know what PrizePicks is and whether or not it's something that you want to look into, it's the largest daily fantasy sports platform in North America. Easy and exciting way to play DFS. You against the numbers, pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections, and you just multiply your winnings. That's all you have to do. Football season in the rearview mirror, but you do have a lot of NBA action, college, conference tournaments going on now, and you're going to have the tournament. Speaking of which, Jimmy, remind me, we have to ask the chat for some help in that regard, but we'll get to that in a second.
How about Providence tonight? Providence might be dancing.
There we go. But that's all you have to do. Just test your skills with PrizePicks. Download the app. Really easy. It's very intuitive. It's fun. It's easy. There's pictures if you like pictures. It's very easy to follow along. So just download that app today. Use the code CLNS for a first deposit match up to 100. Deposit 100, get 100. Do whatever you want with it. It is that easy. Speaking of March Madness, we do want to solicit our good friends in the chat here. We are running our Garden Report Isms March Madness bracket, and we are stumped a little bit with some of our sayings or some fun things here. And so if you guys think of any and you want to throw them out at us, just so we can remember them, we'll write them down and add them to the bracket. And we'll just throw it out there for some fun and see what wins. We did it 2 years ago, skipped it last year. Phenomenal was the runaway winner. But Phenomenal has been eliminated this year because we can't have repeat champions. So no Phenomenal.
You made that rule up.
I did.
Which is not even a real rule.
Yeah. It's mine.
Yeah, we need help, chat. If you think of anything if there's something that stands like a Garden Report, like mainstay thing, something that comes up, something that we say, that we do, a joke, a funny moment, something that's memorable.
Yeah.
Toss it in the chat. It's going to end up in our. We're going to probably try to get like 16, I would say. We can
At least 16. We had 32
16.
the other year, but that was built up because we had.
But we're also not using them. We can't reuse a lot of them, so it's kind of hard to.
Yeah. It's a good rule. It's a good rule. I like the no repeats.
Thank you, Roderick. Appreciate that. Rod. That's you know the name Rod. It's a good name. I don't hear it a whole lot, but it's kind of like a cool name, Rod. What's up, Rod?
Rod.
Fax My Dog is definitely one. We know that. Also, I'm not sure did we get this one in there? Did we get this?
Look at this boomer right here. I do like that one. Yeah, I did get that one. Thanks for
cool. They got
it's okay. We didn't talk about it.
We didn't.
Yeah,
we didn't Sad Girls. Sad Girls, John.
It's in there.
Oh, Sad Girls is in there. Okay,
yeah. The Sad Girls is great.
I'm getting a lot of freaking comments.
You got Tangwade.
You got Tangwade is a great one.
Yeah. But anyway, we're looking for ones from this season mainly, not the oldies. You know, Brockton Wi-Fi. Some of you think that one should have won.
How about my webcam? My webcam's kind of a joke now.
I'm gonna do Josue the Beekeeper though. Instead of Brockton Wi-Fi for that buzzing outing that he had.
Oh, I missed that, but I did see it.
Oh my God. Yeah. Oh my God. It's so good. You know, I might give Louise her own slot.
Louise is Jaylen.
Louise is Jaylen Love.
Yeah. I don't know. That's gonna make people feel that they can
jealous.
Also be crazy for a player.
One of my 6-year-olds, one of my 2 twins, turning 6 on Monday.
Wow.
When they get jealous, they say that's jealous. So that's how the chat's gonna feel.
That's
jealous.
What do they get jealous of? Each
when
other?
Someone else, when someone is doing something they want to do, and she goes, "No, that's jealous."
Because you're saying don't be jealous or something like that.
She just thinks, she's just describing it as this thing is jealous.
Yeah,
not I'm jealous.
I want to do it too. Yeah,
this is jealous. So that's how it works. As we said,
Rod has spoken, my man.
We'll talk about Alan Tillman.
He's cool, man.
I think we're getting ridiculous though, and here's why.
Alan Tillman. Who's Alan Tillman?
Alan Tillman. Alan Tillman. We'll give Al some flowers, but it's I hate saying it. It's boring because Al
is boring. I know.
Al had a good Al game, and I love good Al games. And Al was great. Like Al was a turn black the clock game. It seems ridiculous to not give Al Horford time. But he turned it back. He's 37 and he's running around. He's not when Al Horford's striping threes and looking the way he looked tonight. Great, especially when you're doing it in a Kristaps Porzingis is out game, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was awesome. The threes were falling tonight, and that's his game now. He's your 3-point shooter, and I think my bold prediction at the beginning of the year was that Al Horford would not miss a 3 for the entire season. Now I was off on that slightly, but nights like this make me realize why I made that prediction, because he's going to get those looks, even when Porzingis isn't part of the action, when he's replacing him. He's going to be that guy who's going to get that corner 3 look or whatever it is. And tonight he made him count. And they're going to desperately need that in the playoffs when they are, knock on wood, fully healthy, and he's doing that off the bench because they're going to need that bench production, John. We know the rotations are going to be smaller. What?
Nothing.
That's funny.
That is jealous.
Yeah, it's always good. It's always good to get an Al game.
It is good to get it.
Celtics are undefeated in Al games.
Yeah. It's again.
I'm gonna say that.
It's gravy. Al Horford's knocking down threes on nights when the ball is moving. It's lights out. You know.
Yeah, they shot 50% from three tonight. I think, right?
Just lights out.
It's lights out.
It's so friggin' good because the other guys are just have been great, but at it. But again, I'm not trying to shortchange Al. I just can't say anything other than.
But 24. I mean, John, this must be
it's a lot, man. He doesn't do that.
No,
he doesn't do that.
Definitely not. In fact,
no. It's this Al gets, brownie. Jaylen Brown gets the brownie, but
I think Al gets the brownie tonight.
Really? Is this like one of
That's
those?
The whole
like,
point of the brownie.
Is this like the Best Supporting Actor Lifetime Achievement Award sort of version of the brownie, where this old guy's never won anything, so let's give it to him. He'll get the Blondie, okay? Not quite the brownie. The supporting actor award.
You got to give Al Horford the brownie tonight, John, because it was a season high 24 points for him. He's only had one other game this year where he's hit the 20-point marker, and he hit 24 tonight. So he gets the brownie. And the spirit of the brownie is that you don't give it to Jaylen. That's the joke, is that Jaylen Brown never gets the brownie. But we named an award after him.
Yes.
So that he still gets talked about in the show.
Yeah. Fair enough.
We talked about Jaylen. We gave out the brownie tonight.
Sorry, Jaylen. No, you guys are right. The spirit of the brownie is to never go to Jaylen Brown. So, Al Horford, you get the brownie today.
Now.
Congratulations.
No. And he honestly deserved it. 24 points. Again, season high, 24, 6 of 10 from three. That's just chef's kiss. That's chef's kiss right there is what that is.
So good. But yeah, look, here's why the other conversation that people want us to have is I hate having is I feel like all we're just doing is yo-yoing. Luke has a good game. Oh, Luke, Tillman doesn't play. Tillman does play. Oh, Tillman passed Luke. And we just keep going.
Bobby goes quiet. Yeah.
And Bobby goes quiet. Bobby gets mad. He doesn't just go quiet.
He gets angry. He goes Arthur Fist mode.
Bobby is seething. Okay. He gets snippy with me. That's the only time he gets snippy with me. During these when Luke, what do you want? What do you want us to do? Cut him? Like he gets really.
Yeah. What do you want for your third center? He's your third center, John.
I hate the Luke talk and I hate the Tillman talk.
We keep criticizing this guy.
What do you want from him?
And done more than anyone has ever expected, except me. He's your third center. That's what we get on any bad game. And on any good game, he says, I told you. I've been saying it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
that's the thing is the conversation gets boring because it's like
snap.
My feeling is snip snap. My feeling is the same about the whole time. I'm like, I think generally speaking, Tillman's an overall better and more effective basketball player than Luke. But yeah,
he's got that dog in him.
But Luke's doing his thing.
I like Luke.
He's doing his little lobby thing. Too. But then there's nights like tonight where he does look like that tall dude who's nothing but tall at the Y, and and that's all he is just tall. They're like, you must have played basketball because you're tall, but I don't, it couldn't have been great, right?
Right.
Where'd you play?
What happened? Yeah.
Westfield State, okay,
I played at like Endicott or something.
They needed a tall guy. I get it.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. He falls down and he's like, no one's going to pick me up.
It's hard for those. You get a certain height, John. It's hard to be coordinated that way. That's why That's why like the Durants and the Embiids and everybody are like one in a
Ahmed,
quadrillion.
you've been requested for an intro change. He's our third center. What do you want from him? It's like Jennifer Love Hewitt. What do you want from me?
That's a bracket.
What do you want from me?
That's a bracket edition.
It's a bracket edition.
Third center.
But some people like Luke's fit. I'm not going to argue with them.
Listen, I think Luke, again, it's almost like depends on the game. You know what he does well for you when he does it well, and it's very matchup based. I'm with you, John. I think Tillman is the more versatile big in there. I think he's obviously the more athletic big. I think he can do a little bit more on the defensive end, but Luke gives you that height. Luke's a good roller. He's good on the. He can be good on the oop sometimes when they look for him. I mean, I go back to last week when he had a good couple of oops. Talking about alley oops, not mistakes.
Yeah.
And so like there's some role for him on the team in a small way. I don't know what it looks like when the playoffs come around. I don't think him or Tillman are guys that you're going to really be relying on. And I think if you are, again, something must have gone wrong at some point. But they traded for Tillman. They traded for Tillman with the idea that they were going to get this guy some bird and see what they had. And not just this season. I think he's somebody that they think that they can keep on their roster beyond this season. So I don't know if that's how they feel about Luke or not, but I would expect both guys are going to rotate in and out, John, and just on a matchup based feel type of thing.
Now this could just be the vodka talking, but I like you guys, and I want you to like this video.
We just like this video.
Just like the video. Please just like it. Just like it.
Do Nick a favor.
Like the video.
Let's do Josue. Let's do Josue a favor.
It.
Let's do Josue a favor, John.
Let's do Josue a favor and bring him on.
Yeah.
Sorry, Josue. And just like it.
Will you just like me?
It's the old caps that does it for me.
No, Nick had an earlier tweet about like, I'm just finishing my 9th vodka and tuning into the show.
Oh, I thought you were doing that based on the caps. I was like, maybe.
No. There was a previous. There was a
probably
like the
lot of laughter. Yeah.
He thought it was like the best idea. Like, let me tell these guys to like this thing right now. Hey, he's feeling good, man. That was a heck of a win. I don't blame Nick. Thursday.
Nick took a shot every time Horford hit a 3 today. I think Nick took a shot.
Yeah, he definitely took that bet, thinking it was only going to be a couple, and he was really wrong on that one. 20 plus from Al, man.
Let's move it right here.
We gave Al the brownie. Josue, we gave Al the brownie tonight. We gave him the brownie award.
Oh, he deserves it, man. This dude's on a tear. All NBA Jaylen.
No, we gave Al the brownie.
No. Jaylen doesn't get it.
We gave Al the brownie. Al Horford got the brownie award.
So hold on real quick. I want to address this comment. Great win,
Jaylen
Josue.
doesn't get the brownie.
Matt, no joke. I had an idea for a podcast back when I was like in my heavyweight champion drinking days, and I don't drink like that anymore. But
often
that might. No, I just don't. I don't go there. I don't go there.
I've heard stories.
But my
You're not
idea,
allowed to. Big difference.
My idea for a podcast was called Under the Table, and it was going to be daring anybody to come on with me and go drink for drink, and we'll just talk for the entire time until one person is unable to do it. And the idea would be that I would win every single time.
You were headed to it. You were ahead of your time.
A riveting show, John.
That sounds like
actually
no.
It would have been like
with that.
It would have been like the man versus food, Adam Rich sort of thing, where he'd like gained 700 pounds and like had to have like a quadruple bypass, and then he's like had to stop doing that. Yeah.
Yeah. Good luck.
Shot for shot's aggressive. Maybe just drink for drink. You know, like shot for shot would be but it sounds like drink champs. That's a great
IPA for IPA.
But I had this a long time ago.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You're ahead of the curve. You're ahead of your time.
Yeah. That's I had it as an idea, but then also thought like I don't want to die. But anyway, Josue. No takeaways from tonight. Obviously, Al was great. Were you in the locker room or talking to anybody?
I was not. I just caught Joe Mazzulla. Tatum and Brown going to take the podium, but yeah. I mean, as you can imagine, a lot of the things that Joe was talking about is just executing, taking away what the defense, didn't present itself, if you ask me, in that second half. I thought the Phoenix Suns just they were like, we're going to go on this big run, and that's how we're going to fix this deficit. And I felt like the Celtics just found more holes throughout their weak defense in that second half, and just that was the big difference in that third quarter, along with the Jays, of course. And Jaylen was unstoppable. I just think that what he's going through right now is not going to slow down anytime soon. But unfortunately, it probably will have to at some point, because Celtics going to have to give these guys some rest. I know he got rest the other night, and he's still going off the way he was during that during the rest of the road trip. But yeah, I just thought that look, we've been talking about this or at least I've been mentioning for the last few weeks, where I feel like a lot of these opponents, especially throughout that huge 11-game win streak, they just start running out of gas, or they start running out of they start, for better sense of word, I mean, they just get exposed. I think the Celtics just showed. They show teams' weaknesses in that second half. And it's one of those points of the game where it's you can catch up now, or we'll see you later. And in this game, it was by midway through the fourth. You knew this one was done. But again, it was one of those nights, though. Celtics shot 23s. They shot 50. They made 20, 25 of them. It's just, they're really hard to beat when they're doing that. But I just think they exposed the Suns more on their lack of defensive presence than anything in that second half. And of course, you got these two studs in Jaylen and Tatum, but Jaylen, man, this stretch has just been incredible. It really has been. But what heck of a game from Tatum as well.
Facts, my dog.
I'm muted. I couldn't call out Jimmy on his facts, my dog.
You said something. You said something though. What did you say when you were muted?
Nothing. Anyway, so yeah. I mean, all around good game. We're waiting on Bobby to come in here, and as you said, Tatum and Brown hitting the podium. We might hear from Kevin Durant also.
Ooh,
I think we went in
the podium together. I kind of hope they do. I like how they did that on the road. We don't see that often. So
here's this is when you talk about big three. This was something the Celtics tried with the second big three, the Pierce KG one. When they first started, the idea was to send them to the podium as the three of them every single game. Yeah. And then as time went on, it stopped being Allen and it just started being KG and Pierce. But it was still the two of them because they're just it's us, right? And Ray started getting sad, and didn't feel like he was really part of it, and he had to sacrifice, and he kind of stopped, and it began his whole Rayness, and that's fine. But I love
two guys drew closer to Rondo, but either way,
sure. I love the idea. I love the idea of those guys. I think it'd be an awesome look to have those two guys doing it every single time.
Right. I agree.
They're saying JB did it by himself. What's funny is it's never a choice. It's not like we're putting these guys up together. It's not like the team decides or those guys decide. It literally, as much as we like to think oh, it's great that they did it together. What does that mean? It means they got dressed at the same exact time. That's all it means.
It's a time.
It's how quickly one guy put his clothes on. And if they're there at the same time, they put them up together. And if they're at different times, one guy goes first.
Or they're on this. Nowadays, they'll do, one guy is done, the other one's still swiping, so the other one's like, all right, I'll go first, you go after.
I'll go. Exactly. That's what I mean. Whenever one guy is ready to take his, take his turn.
Yeah.
But it would be cool if they did it together. And apparently, someone in the chat said JB went alone, so maybe
yeah, I mean, on the road, I guess that makes sense. They have those two buses. You got to make one of them. So normally, Jaylen, I feel like Tatum typically goes last. So I'd assume Jaylen maybe.
I just like the idea of the two superstars kind of being locked the whole way through.
No, I do too. I mean, especially when they used to do it more often in the playoffs. I felt like it wasn't necessarily an option. They kind of did it for more of the timing purposes, and they were kind of like, okay, reporters have to get their stories out. That was more of the priority. I feel like nowadays is just more free flowing. But I would love if that was the case for the rest of the season and going into the playoffs. I feel like the only problem with that is when they decide, or if they decide they don't want to do that anymore, people are going to say, oh, they don't like each other. Oh, there's a rift now. You know what I mean, John? I feel like if they were to do it for 2-3 weeks in a row, and then all of a sudden they stop after a loss, everyone's going to be like, oh, or, one.
Right. Whoa, not talking.
Yeah, someone's quote's gonna be taken out of context or going to be exaggerated. Oh, that's a shot at Jaylen, or that's a shot at Tatum. That's why they're not doing the press conferences anymore. So, but I would like to see that happen at least more often, not just like a one-off like we saw on the road.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Not that I think these two hate each other like some people think. No one on this show, but
yeah.
Which for the record, no one thought that on this show, right? Like we were just always a little critical. That's all it was. We never thought, oh, these two they better be best friends or this team is screwed. Like,
I might have thought so.
You thought that they hate each other though?
Who?
Hate's a strong word. Hate is a strong word.
It is
Tatum and Brown.
I feel like whenever
Tatum
someone
and
says
Brown.
that, it's because they borderline hate that person. They just don't want to say it.
No, they just all hate Grant Williams, Josue. Big
They
difference.
do hate Grant Williams.
Grant just catching strays everywhere.
We gotta talk about that
what
too.
What did Grant
Right?
do with this? Just catching a stray. No, but it's funny because
Grant's
I
whole
never
life has
believed-
been catching strays.
I never
but
believed
we've
they
been saying this,
disliked
like-
each other. I just never thought they liked each other. But I also didn't think they liked their not liking of one another was detrimental. I just always thought
Right.
like, yeah,
they don't
it
have
would
to like each other.
best
Right.
buddies, it would be even better. You know, like if
Right.
it would be nice. It was by no means essential, but like, boy, wouldn't that be cool if they were boys, you know, because
Right.
then you'd really be like, you're playing for one another and there's a bond. That's
Right.
great. It's great, but never essential.
You mentioned Pierce and Garnett, man. Those two were inseparable. I mean, you can see it now.
They took to it right away. You know,
Well, no,
Yeah.
they guys, you got to remember, Pearson and Garnett were friends when they were like in grade school all the way up. So it was like I don't think people understood how
it was
close
easy to
those
get
guys
together.
were.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
and
true.
they had talks in the past of like, oh, maybe we'll play together. You know what I mean? Like this was a long time coming for them, so it was
Right.
a lot. I mean, they had sleepovers together as in high school. You know what I mean? Like,
But it's funny because I bet you one of them was
different vibe.
envisioning the opposite. Like, you know, when they said that, KG's like, yeah, one day you'll come to Minnesota. And
Yeah,
Pierce's
probably,
like,
right?
One day you'll come to Boston, bro. And he's like, and both ones were like, no way I'm going that way. The other one's like, no way I'm going. And then that was like 8 years of that before it actually happened or whatever. But
that's rare.
yeah, I mean,
yeah, definitely.
I just feel like, I just think it's funny that like with all the Grant stuff, like Tatum's the one guy because we were talking about like last season and the year before, like you could see Tatum being that one guy that like he just doesn't get under his skin because he's Tatum. He's like why do you guys take him so seriously? And again, I don't think it was to the point where like every week someone was like, Grant, shut the heck up or whatever. I don't think they like couldn't stand him, but is he a little annoying? Does he have that sort of persona? I could see that 100%. We all could.
Yeah, he's just
even the
like
media.
He's like
Look,
he's like your little brother, annoying. He's like your,
exactly. Like
And some days he's just not
your
in the mood
little
for it.
brother. Your little
I know.
brother, or like the friend you've had since you were young, and you know he kind of sucks. And when you introduce him to new people, you're like, he kind of sucks, but like he's all right.
Yeah.
like he's
The dude
actually-
walks away,
like,
and they were like, "Yo,
he's chill.
with this
what's
dude?"
up
And
with
it was
your
like, "I know."
boy? Like he's all right.
I
He's
know.
like he's harmless.
I
He's kind of
Yeah.
mid, but
No,
like
no.
he's-
The line is
They don't say that.
the line was always he means well. He means well. That's
Yeah.
always the line.
he might.
No, he's cool. Yeah,
He's fine. He's
he's
just
like
let it
in the
let it go.
corner, just like
Yo,
telling a
Grant
horrible
is
story.
if he means well was a picture, was a person, that's Grant, man. Like, that's the perfect way to describe him. Like he's not an asshole. He's not someone that's gonna be like, even when he tries to be, Draymond's like, oh, look at this guy, this is cute. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just think that everyone knows that about him, and some people just it's an acquired taste. It's an acquired taste. Some people
I
just
would say,
not,
like,
it's not for them.
If say less was a person, say and do less, that would be him. Just
That'd
like
be great.
just freaking sit there, man. Okay, like I'm bringing you to this party, like just be cool, just like
the
chill,
plus
like
one, exactly.
grab a beer, just like lay low
Chill,
for a
man.
bit. 10
Chill.
minutes later, he's like telling a story to like 8 people. who
Selfie
are
time,
like,
everybody. Yeah,
he's-
or like, yeah.
Peg stand shirtless, and you're like,
Yeah.
dude. Like-
yeah. Yeah, he
He's
just like
telling
ran-
like
he-
ridiculous
he
stories
just-
to like Clay, and they're like, "We don't want to hear this, man. Like, what are you
Yeah.
talking about? Hold on, let me finish." Like, I can just see it, man.
What's up
Like,
with your
yo,
boy? Like, what's up with your
Yeah.
boy? And I'm just like,
Yo, Jason, get your boy, man. This dude,
I don't know. Yeah. It just
you could see it.
what's
Yeah.
up with the Uber driver? Why the Uber driver come in?
You can't go full Grant. You're right.
You can't.
Draymond's
go
making
full-
those jokes. the whole
That's
time.
that's as bad as going full Zannis.
Yeah,
Going
right.
full
He's
Grant.
You can't
Yeah.
go full Grant.
no. You're bringing Grant to a party. Like, no, this one can't hit.
You can't hit him.
This one can't hit. No.
Oh man.
Oh god.
So
We got-
JT, you know,
boy.
JT's
Everybody
the
clean it
ultimate
up.
big brother.
Clean it up. Clean it up. Clean it up. Bobby's here. Clean it up. Clean
No,
it up.
JT's the ultimate
All
big
right,
brother
cool.
who's like, all right,
Shh.
don't make fun of him. All right, he's still my guy. He was a great teammate.
Hey.
Like leave him
Yeah.
alone.
Here we go.
Right.
All right.
Tatum's used to being the father figure though.
He is.
Oh, what's up, Bobby?
Bobby.
Take a
What's
sip.
going on?
There
What's
we
going
go.
on?
How we feeling?
Ooh,
He's
that
like,
was,
why you guys? He's like, why you guys being weird?
that was a surprising
cool.
finish
We're cool.
to this game in more ways than one. I did
Why?
not
Surprising
expect
finish. They won by
The
15.
Joe Block.
that, especially,
Yeah,
but
Bobby was
also the
losing.
game turned into. I mean, I saw it out of the corner of my eye. Obviously, most people were looking at the Jaylen dunk, and I was like, I didn't really just see that. So I tweeted out, and I was like, I hope he actually did that because like that doesn't happen. And I guess it has in the
Right.
past with him, but like Gary was just even asking Jason, like, could you imagine like Spoelstra running out and like contesting your like what? Like
Yeah.
Yeah. The most perplexing thing. We're gonna play the bite again.
Imagine like Belichick like breaking up a pass after the
The
whistle.
most perplexing thing
Belichick
was
form
it's like-
tackling a guy.
it's
Yeah,
asking
Belichick lays out
someone.
some guy like Tomlin tried to do.
But imagine if you asked Bill Belichick, so like, why did you
Tomlin tried
tackle
that
that
shit.
guy? And his answer was, I always tackle that guy.
Yeah.
You know, like
It's not against the rules. It's not in the rule book. that you can't.
Josue,
You guys don't
Josue
even
can
read the
tell you
book.
guys.
You guys don't know the rules. Yeah.
I have
If-
never been more in
if Pop
shock at a
doesn't
game.
if Pop doesn't do that, I'm at
Yeah.
some point this year I'm gonna be upset.
I
Wait,
I've never.
what's shocking to you?
Well, we can get to the result, but
Sports.
that is just. I mean, Josue probably told you guys. I've never been more in shock. Like I really couldn't believe I saw it. I was like, I definitely just saw that, and I'm gonna have to go delete the tweet because it didn't happen. And then finally, I saw a clip and was like, oh my god, he was like out there, like he was like in the play. I couldn't believe it didn't start a fight.
Yeah.
I
They blew
can't
the
believe
whistle.
it didn't start a fight. I
He was by
can't
the
believe
hash
the
mark.
refs didn't give him a tech. I can't believe it just kind of happened. And then the reaction was, I literally I do it all the time. Like, wouldn't you think the league's gonna be like, Joe, don't do that all the time.
Like Joe, like just stay on the
like,
sidelines.
in fact, don't do it any of the time. Like
Yeah.
like maybe we didn't notice, but like
In fact,
do that.
Joe, it is against the rules. It says it here, here, and here.
I think the
that
only
coaches
reason.
cannot go onto the
Imagine-
court.
Imagine if you were like the triple player or something like that. God forbid if someone gets hurt.
Well,
Well,
here's
later
the
in
thing.
his-
Here's why it wasn't a big deal. It's because he didn't block the shot. I mean, it wasn't.
And it was like a
that
20-point
close.
game. Like, I guess you
Well, no,
could
I
have
don't
started
think
a
that
fight if you
mattered,
were
but-
Phoenix.
all
over
the
it,
more
but
reason, honestly.
Yeah,
here it
right.
is again.
No.
Here's the sound. Here it is.
Can we just play the block too?
It's probably going to go viral, the block, but you don't care, and it just seems like there's a certain
Joey.
philosophy. As long you're going to carry it out, and you don't care what it looks like to anybody.
I mean, I don't. There's a dead ball. I did it last year. We've done it multiple times. So I mean, I don't care. At the end of the day, it's about the mindset and the approach that we bring, and it's within the rules of the game.
And kind of to Jared's question, like the players have to pick up on it. Like, regardless of how this looks, we're sticking to what we do.
What are they gonna do?
I'm just saying, like that's got to be
What was-
it reflects positive.
Yeah.
on you.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, listen. Like I said, it's about just setting a tone. It's that. And so one of the biggest pet peeves is just thinking that a guy's just going to get a free shot. It's just not the way it works. And if we're going to hold our team to the standard, to hold the staff to the same thing. So there's been times where we've missed it, and I've held the staff accountable to it. And you got to do the best job you can of not doing it.
Did you find them? What'd you do?
I just a strong conversation about what the expectations are.
Joe hates this line of questioning right now.
Yeah, that
It's
at
like
the
shining
end
a
stood
light
out
on
most
something
to
he
me.
did over and over again. He does not like it.
Well, then don't go out there and block a freaking
Also,
shot.
maybe
Nobody's gonna ask
don't-
you about it.
Don't block the shot.
Well, but you know what he said. You heard him. I did it last year. In other words, you guys didn't notice. Like it's like okay.
So, yeah,
well,
when
we
it-
noticed
Gary,
that.
you
when
wrote
he-
it.
Like, what's the big deal?
You wrote an article about a game when I tried to block a shot and didn't say anything about it. I wonder why that is. Why is that, Gary?
Yeah.
So I was.
Bobby, I want to hear from you because your reaction is priceless right now. Like how we
Bobby
laughed our
couldn't believe
asses off, but like,
Well,
you seem really shook.
We can't play it even though it's not like in-game footage.
It is the craziest thing I've ever seen watching. Like just someone making a decision.
How about Van Gundy holding on to whoever's leg?
Like I don't remember that happening in real time. I don't even think I was alive for that. So I can't believe it. And then, coming off the floor, all the assistants are walking off, and I turned to him and I was like, "Did you see that?" And he was like, "Yeah, he's done that before." So I don't remember him doing it before. So I don't remember.
Oh yeah, he's fucking crazy.
That's the KG rule. KG started that.
No, but that's the player on the court at the rim.
No free buckets. No, I got you. Yeah, Doc never fucking did that. No, I got you.
Imagine Doc in the suit running out.
Like, ball doesn't line.
Yeah, but and then on top of it, admonishing the staff when they don't do it. I don't remember seeing Joe do this in the past, and we haven't been at every game over the last 2 years here, but I don't remember it. The only thing I remember him doing, John, was in that Pacers game, fighting for the loose ball with Neesmith in front of the scorer's table, which is kind of similar. But man, I'm shocked Royce didn't have a stronger response to that. Like, he probably was in shock too. Like, what is this guy doing? Wow. And this is a great win. There was a lot of stuff doing it. That's what I said to someone in the press room. I was like, imagine Brad running out there and jumping up and trying. Imagine if you actually blocked him.
Guys, that's the thing though. Like, it shouldn't be that crazy to see Joe do it. It would be crazy to see Brad do it.
So I do remember earlier in the season.
Now, nothing's off the table with this guy.
The Lonzo Mourning and Larry Johnson fight was crazy.
I do remember earlier in the season. He was mad after that Pacers win that they let Heel do it. And, he had some comments after the game. There was a little exchange there between him and Buddy Hield. He was mad that the players didn't do
That's what he's referencing, there. Right? That's what he's referencing.
So there was Gary was asking him after that game, the exchange he had with Hield. And, he ended up catching up with Hield after that game, and Hield just kind of laughed it off. And, we didn't get to talk to Royce after this one, but I just can't believe this is a good win, John. There's a lot of stuff to talk about from this game, and we just spent the whole show talking about John.
You needed to get Royce. You needed to get Royce, man.
We just had a little.
I did too. About it. Yeah.
Bobby kicked off the presser with this.
Did you?
Oh man. Yeah.
Yeah, that was his first question to Joe. Yeah, what was up with that block?
What did you ask?
Or attempt?
I was like, what made you do that?
Yeah, he was like, why'd you do that?
I was like, why'd you do that? What made you do that? And he was like, I saw a guy shooting who didn't make a shot all game, and I didn't want him to go back to the bench feeling good about himself. And then obviously he started referencing the other stuff that happened earlier in the year and him doing it in the past.
Yeah.
So
I love that.
Listen, man,
so he answers it matter-of-factly, and Gary had to follow up. He's like, but it's weird, right? He just didn't know how to phrase.
This is normal, right? Yeah.
Oh my God.
So Jason got asked. I'm sure we'll have the clips
right, Joe? Sure, we're all worried about you.
We'll get some sound from Tatum and Brown. Move on to other non-Joe Block related things.
I love how they separated themselves in this game, and I was shocked that it became a blowout, empty the bench with 3 minutes left kind of game. The Suns were up early, up by as many as 8 early in that first, and then Celtics swung a 22-6 run, flipped into their own double-digit lead, and maintained that for the rest of the game, and then extended it to 20. So, again, this isn't the best team in the league on the other side, but it's a team that has Durant, has Booker, has Beal. 2 of them are playing well in this game. Durant lighting them up early. I think he started 7 of 11. So I expect this to be a tit for tat, down to the wire kind of game, and it turned into a blowout in the Celtics' favor there. So they found matchups, as we've talked about over and over again. The Suns struggled to do the same. Joe did point out at the end of the game, losing the fourth quarter, they had some trouble against the Suns' small ball lineup. But for them to blow Phoenix away like this when Phoenix was healthy, they're missing a couple bench guys, but the big three intact there. Because, if you think Porzingis being out, Suns being healthy 1 through 3, and it being, the Celtics, Tatum, Brown, White dynamic there, it's kind of even for top end talent between these teams, and the Celtics just blew them away. So I found that impressive. It's been an impressive little 4-game win streak here. I think they've altered the offense, John. I don't know if you've noticed that, kind of passing more, getting Holiday involved, getting Horford involved as passers, White a little bit in this game too. This is a great game for Holiday, probably the most involved he's been all year.
Look, doesn't it feel like those high level passing games are the ones where you're getting, obviously a higher percentage of threes made, but also it being spread around, right? And that's where you get Horford involved. That's where you get Holiday. It's where you get White. And that's really what it comes down to. Much more so than the ISO ball, hope you can kick out for a three. When the ball's moving the entire time, you're getting guys in rhythm shooting, and it just kind of, turns into what it turned into tonight. You can always kind of tell the difference.
Yeah, and it's a different approach, I feel like. Jaylen said it's something they've talked about in recent weeks. Horford alluded to similar. And Joe talked in Portland about how they had a whole film session about how they need to get into like 3-4 layers of offense. And that's a departure, John. I don't know how many times he switched up on things he said last year, and not to say he's all over the place, but it feels like a little bit of an evolution for Joe, where the 3-point attempts aren't the most important thing anymore. It's not about the first open shot. They can get a really, really good shot, as he said pregame, and pass up a good shot. I thought Jaylen did that at one point, I think, to get Holiday or maybe White a 3 at one point in this game. And then, down the line, like, they've diversified the offense, even in recent weeks, to where they're starting to change things or philosophies that they've done in the past for the better, I think. I love when the offense flows like this. It feels like Porzingis being out and Horford being in there is a little bit more conducive to playing that style. Whereas you're not just trying to line up the pick and roll straight up and back down a guy in the post with Porzingis or whoever in that pick and roll. You can kind of be side to side, passing.
You match up Hunt more with Porzingis, right? Between whether it's Porzingis, Brown, or Tatum, you get into some action and you spring somebody free, and Porzingis either gets in the low block on somebody smaller, or he spots up for a 3, or you spring somebody else. But like, I do feel like that it ends up being a little bit more spread it out and let somebody take their guy on with Porzingis in there. And this is a bit more conducive because you do have Al spreading the floor and kind of staying off into the corner there. Or if you get him on a switch, he might even work the post like he did a couple times tonight. He's done a couple times recently, but it definitely does move a little bit. It's like the not the good and bad with Porzingis, but like there is an upside sometimes to not having him in there. The downside is they got murdered on the boards, especially early on the offensive glass with Nurkic. And Nurkic is just a monster, and he just kind of moves, and you just move out of his way. There's really almost nothing you can do about it. People just fall off him. Yeah.
But that's the other amazing thing. They got out rebounded by 1 million. The shot margin was, I think, 10. They shot a lot more threes, so that was a big difference there. But
they hit their
overall,
threes, Bobby.
Yeah, they hit them too. But 50 to 31 turns into 25 to 11. So even if they hit like 8 less, that still would have been a big advantage in this game. So, man, this was an impressive one. Especially
why wouldn't Phoenix take more threes?
Because they've
got like a bunch of shooters on their team.
Yeah, but they're mid-range shooters. All 3 of those guys, really.
Well, no, I mean, Allen is one of the most prolific 3-point shooters in the league this year.
Yeah.
KD is KD.
KD,
definitely
Booker, Beal. You telling me they don't have 3-point shooters?
Yeah, but the Celtics give up that mid-range, so they're taking it. They were taking it well early. I think they shot 51% in the first half from 2. So that's kind of how the Celtics roll. They keep that little pocket mid-range area open. Teams are going to take that. Usually it's going to hurt you more than
approach. Give them the 2s. Play the drop. Give the 2s up. No doubt about it.
Yeah, they did a good job defensively, I think, just dealing with those blows early and then forcing turnovers too. How many steals did they end up with? Brown had 1 million. Drew had a handful. They end up with 12 steals in this game, which is too short of the season on that end too. That was a big difference.
It's Bobby. Bobby, there's like a high-pitched something coming out of your area. I don't know if it's... And it stopped. Oh, that's so peaceful. That's so peaceful.
Just making stuff up. Get out of here. There was no beep.
That is nice. Oh, that's because he's muted. I thought he just solved it. Yeah, I'm not sure what that was, Bobby. So 2 questions I wanted to ask people. There he goes. There goes our boy.
You pissed him
We've
off.
had this. I didn't mean to. I haven't said anything. I'm not even going to do Luke. I'm skipping it. You guys cool with that? Skipping it.
Yeah.
Sorry, Bobby.
You don't ever have to ask me that.
Good. Here's Jason Tatum talking about something.
And Joe.
What does that mean when he sticks to what he tells you? He sticks to his own philosophies. I mean, a head coach like if Eric Spoelstra had done that to you,
it's the block.
Like, come on, man. Like what goes through your mind? It shows more. You have to believe more in him when he lives to his own words.
Gary's almost a surprise.
I mean, yeah, absolutely. That's who Joe is. So when he did, I wasn't caught off guard. I expect him or one of the coaches to do that. You gotta love Joe for Joe.
It's kind of what it is now.
It's kind of what it is. One question I was going to go to. We've had this conversation a ton, and I'm not going to belabor the Joe thing, even though I do think it's really cuckoo banana. What's so funny is I know there's people in the comments here like, it's not a big deal. Stop talking about it. It's literally going to be one of the number one topics in the next 24 hours in the news.
I don't think so. I really don't think so.
Nationally, yeah, it is.
For NBA? For NBA news?
Oh, yeah. It's going to be everywhere. It already is.
People are going to talk about it.
Not
a lot.
national sports.
It'll be like a Twitter. It'll be like an
shows?
NBA Twitter meme thing. It'll be like whatever, but it's. I don't think.
I think they're going to be talking about it on the shows, Jimmy. They probably did a whole thing on it on Inside the NBA.
Bobby's got a whole lead about it.
Those guys might joke about it for.
It's
a minute,
legit.
Yeah.
It's legit hilarious, and it deserves to be discussed. It doesn't. Here's the thing: just because we're talking about it, it doesn't mean it's like a big deal. It's just cuckoo bananas and fun to talk about. Okay,
right. That's I'm fine with that. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. So we've talked about this before. I'm going to throw it out there. Okay. Jaylen Brown's on like epic tear right now. Looks like the leader of the team, taking more shots than Tatum. Pacing the team. Leading them in a lot of different ways. Ever since the All-Star break, he's been their overall best player, and I think in a pretty convincing way. And we see Kevin Durant do Kevin Durant things, even though they wore him down in the second half. We'll ask this question because we've asked it a million times, and I'll put everybody on the spot. Would you still have wanted the Celtics to have made this trade? But whenever it would have been prior to last season.
Nah.
You want me to go first?
Nah, I don't think so. Still don't. It cast a big shadow, and I think just where the path these guys were on, I don't know. It could have worked, but I like them seeing this one through better, especially with the way Jaylen's coming to his own this year and continues this whole this year is better than my last year. This is, you could say the same thing again this year. We've been saying that essentially since his second year. So yeah, I still take this.
Here's another one people wanted to do.
No, come on.
None of us want that, did we?
None of us did.
You guys still talking about that? Not you guys, but the viewers. You guys still like dreaming about
people?
No,
not anymore.
No one's saying.
I'm saying once upon a time that was one that was on people's radars.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, because of the relationship with Tatum and all that. Yeah, I thought you meant like. No,
man,
I did guarantee.
It's a tough call.
Bill. Yeah,
it is a tough call, man. Because when he's been out there, it's
really.
What do you mean?
I agree with this sentiment, and I think a lot of people react emotionally. Winning with homegrown feels better than winning with hired guns. There's no question about it. But if you win this year, it's with 2 homegrown and a lot of hired guns.
Yeah, I mean,
I
I don't give a shit about who they bring in. I mean,
What,
the
you
Celtics won with hired guns.
You tossed your core away now.
2008.
Rob is gone. Smart is gone. You got the 2 left, but you didn't keep the whole core.
I don't give a shit about that, John. In 2008, what did they do? They dumped every single homegrown
It
player.
always
They
feels
brought in
better when it's
KG and-
homegrown. Yeah,
I disagree. I think that's made up.
You're
Oh,
right. It's
yeah, it
not
would have been
all- it's not,
80 for 3.
it's not
Well, Bob, are you
always.
saying
It's,
that they
not,
would've
it's
won a-
nice when you can. It's
You
not
gotta
always.
do
You're
it,
right.
Are you
but
saying
you
they would have
gotta
won
do
a
what.
championship?
I mean, John, yeah, in the perfect scenario, you draft great and you bring up the. Yeah, sure, I get it, but you also have to make a decision. Are these guys good enough to win or are they not? And then you got to dump them and you bring in the guys that you think are, and then you win. And then you're not like, oh, if only we could have won with the other guys instead. Like, no, you're just like, hell yeah, we just won the freaking title. So I think regardless of who wins it, you're just excited that they win it. Now, it's a hard question because what are we saying? Kevin Durant stays healthy or does he get hurt the same way he did? Does he miss some time? He's still
He wasn't even around last year.
He's still been Kevin Durant when he's out there
Played
playing.
8 games,
He's still been elite. I did think it would have been interesting to see Tatum and Durant play together. And I mean, hindsight's 2020. Brown's playing great right now. It's a question that you got to ask, I think, at the end of the year.
Okay, we'll ask it at the end of the year. The last question I want to ask,
that makes it
non-game
easier,
related.
I just want to say,
I know
by
it
the
makes it
way,
easier.
Non-game related, but a lot of.
Let Bobby say what he wants to say.
Well, go ahead, Bobby.
as much as I wanted it, and I still kind of want to see how it would have played out, that package, man. Brown, White, all those picks. I think there was even the rumor that like, they wanted Smart too, or maybe Rob.
Right. It's a stupid thing.
The
trade,
with all that
the
on
trade
top of
that
it,
was
yeah.
offered, it was a no 1,000 times over. It's only in a universe where these two could have just swapped places. It's theoretically. Would you rather have had this guy than that? The deal to have gotten him would have crippled the team. It would have. It's not worth it not even close to worth it. It was more of a theoretical conversation. It was a horrible trade. So no question, you wouldn't have made that trade.
How many more years does Durant have? He's got a couple more.
It's amazing that he's still like 4th in the league in scoring and like looks like the same guy.
Yeah, when he's out there, he's sensational.
He's
he's been hurt a lot.
He's been back. I mean, that's the thing. Like, when you think about all those injuries and stuff, like I think
it would have been pretty sweet.
Like I said, the list of people who tore an Achilles and came back and were close to the same guy has one person on it, and it's Durant.
It's this dude. Yeah,
yeah,
it's him.
I think this is a fair point here. It probably would have been similar to the Bucks this year, just losing all that depth. Get the two great guys and you're really good.
Yeah, it would have been
it was a horrible trade. Last thing, and we'll wrap we'll wrap it up. But a lot of buzz and a lot of groundswell of support to bring this guy back. Give him the 15th roster spot and let him get his championship. Ride along, come along for the ride, and just be there, smiling, waving towels, getting into a game or two, human Gino, lighting up the crowd whenever he does get a couple of minutes, and kind of a good, nice, sort of feel good story. It's never going to feel great knowing that like after he left here, he was never the same, but it would be nice.
Damn, John, you put it that way. I'm convinced now.
Why won't they do it?
They don't want the sideshow, but I would be for it because I think he's just such a good dude and he was such a good player at a time when they needed what he brought them, and he really did kind of. If you were a Celtics fan in those between years, I mean, this guy, Mr. Fourth Quarter, it was unbelievable. It was an unbelievably fun time to be a Celtics fan during a time where you didn't really think there was going to be a lot of fun moments, and for that reason, I mean, he played hurt. He got screwed. The team screwed him. We can say it. Danny Ainge kind of screwed him there. And it would be cool to have him back. Now, I think IT wants to play, though. He's not looking for a charity title. He wants to play. And honestly, like, I've just seen some highlights.
You think he wants to play at this point?
I know he wants to play at this. I mean, Bobby, who doesn't want to play? Obviously, he wants to play.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he wants
He's
to.
doing everything. He's doing
so
everything
in order to make
he can.
money, you have to play. Yeah,
Right? He's doing everything he can to show that he can still play. He's in
If
the
that's
G
the case,
League.
it's not a fit.
No, but I mean, at this point in the season,
he does not want to play for this team. He is not here to get
He's not gonna
legit
play
minutes for
anywhere.
the Celtics.
no, he
He's not
wants to
playing
play. He wants to play just in. He wants playing.
Oh,
time. He wants
okay,
to
like get some
prove that he
minutes
can
down the
play.
stretch.
Yeah,
I'm not
he's not going
saying
to get him.
Celtics. No, but I think he's doing the G League thing to show that he can still ball out and he can still.
That might be his long-term goal, but like latching onto a team just to get a ring isn't horrible, right?
No, it's not. And if that's the case, yeah, I mean, their rotation is going to be 7 guys anyways. It doesn't even matter who the 10 through 15 are once you get to the playoffs. So yeah, I would bring him on. You know, he's that good vibes guy. You know, why not? He's like your Blake. Blake doesn't want it. Blake said no. Isaiah probably says yes. Why not?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind it. I just don't see the Celtics doing it just because like we talked about this a couple of nights ago where it's like, you know, you have to go through that whole thing again. Not that he's going to be traded the way he was in his first
It's
stint
the
in Boston,
sideshow.
but it's the
It's a
sideshow.
distraction.
And then it's the like, you know, everyone's showing up in IT jerseys, which will be great. It's a great moment, but like the other side of that,
But
let's
you know
say
what
the Celtics
happens?
don't win a championship, or even if they do win one, like letting him go again, like I just think that's the part Celtics just don't want to do that again. You know,
This is a good point, by the way.
especially if he never gets picked up again. But look, if he's more than willing to, which I'm sure he would be, like it's a great story. I would love to see IT find a situation where he can carve out a role for next season and have
But you're going to get that
1 year deals. Like,
you're gonna get
let's
that
face it, at
distraction.
his age, at this point in his career, he's not going to convince a team to give him a long-term deal. But if he can just kind of put together 1 year, you know, for the next few years, just get some get a role for a team that he can come back to the NBA and say, man, I came back, played for a few more years. That'd be an incredible story. Like that's what I would hope for him.
Guys, we are talking about
this. If this is a stepping stone to that, then okay, so be it. But that's what I envision for him.
I feel like they should do it, and I feel like it's
talking
overdue.
about the 15th spot on the roster.
Yeah,
it could be a stepping stone. It could be a stepping stone.
The only thing it's gonna do is get people to say, play him over Pritchard when
It's
Pritchard
going to
has a
turn
bad
into a
game.
Taco Fall thing, like with people
That's
just
why they
screaming
haven't
to
done
get him
it.
in, screaming
I think
to get
it'd
him
be
into
even
the game.
worse, John.
The downside isn't whether IT wants to play. The downside is whether the sideshow becomes a distraction from the goal.
Don't you
which
think
is
that's
like,
died down?
why are we dealing with this nonsense? We're like the best team in the NBA. Can you guys stop cheering for this 15th guy to enter the game and let us play? Like that's the only downside to it. Is it disrespectful to the current players to bring in a guy that like the fans are going to be like, I want IT and like lose focus about shit or stupidly think exactly what Jimmy said. Like, should he be in the rotation and the talk radio stuff? And you don't think that that's coming? Like whether it's bullshit, I think it's a legit distraction.
Yeah, because
I really do. I think it's a
Everyone's
legit
gonna talk
distraction.
about what happened and the trade.
I love the idea of it, but I think it's a legit distraction.
I don't think it would be as much now because they're so successful. Because he's
People
so
would go
clearly
bananas
beyond.
for him. Bananas.
Yeah, I think for him, I don't think there would be a sense of he can come in and be better. I should hold myself there because that might exist because I think people get a little crazy with how they talk about Pritchard, but I don't think there'd be an expectation that he's coming in and
Should he take
making
Luke's
an impact.
minutes?
Well, that's a different.
Whoa!
I think it'd be so.
Hold
I think
on
it's so.
now.
I think it's so clear at this point that he's the 15th guy. He's not going to play, and he's beyond his prime to the point where he's just a locker room guy and that kind of presence. So I think it could work this time around, but I don't know if their stance is wavered, as you said, John, from the position that it would be a distraction, especially to the guys in front of them. I wish they did it during that COVID year, as I said a couple of days ago. I think that was the perfect time. You needed bodies. Everybody had COVID. I don't know why they didn't do it then, but I just feel like not that I'm going to get into the whole they did him wrong, but like the way he was sent out wasn't great. And the easy way to fix that is even like a 10-day. You can't do like a 10-day and just kind of have that moment with him because he was important, guys. He was like, he took you back to the playoffs the year after you were one of the worst teams in the league. And he changed the
Other
culture
than this year,
immediately.
Bobby's just
Other
never
than
going to
this
forgive
year-
the Celtics for giving Joe Johnson that 10-day in 20.
Guys,
Why Joe Johnson over him? What was that?
other than this year, that was the most fun Celtics
That
team
was a
to
little
watch. I mean, and then the second half of the championship run, the IT teams were more enjoyable than a couple of conference finalists.
The
You
run
know,
he
like,
went on was just insane.
that was electric. Like that was as fun as
He
it
played
was. to be
hurt
a
the
fan.
whole way.
Yeah.
And he
Didn't
gave a
even
lot.
draft
He
him.
did a lot. I don't know. You're not going to retire his number.
Worst
I
part
get
is
you
they
don't want to mess
traded
with the chemistry, but
They traded him for the anti-IT. That's the worst part. We got the guy that was like the freaking worst Celtic ever in Kyrie Irving. We traded away the one that was like the best Celtic that we've had in so long. That's the part that kills. Freaking Kyrie.
It was amazing. It was an amazing run. And again, you're talking about a good storybook sort of thing. You're right. Like someone put it in the chat. Imagine a blowout game where he gets fourth quarter minutes and just lights it up for like 18 points in the fourth.
Yeah.
Place would friggin' fall apart. You know, like the garden would come to pieces. So it'd be a cool moment. And somebody also put in the chat,
get
ask
it.
the players. If the players are fine with it, yeah. Then
John Smart
then
begged
who
them to
gives a
bring him
crap?
in, and they wouldn't. Remember, he
Yeah.
called Smart and was like,
Sometimes
"Guy,
people
like,
don't know
help me
what's in
out."
it's in their own best interest, but yeah.
It is weird how they didn't give him like more of an opportunity to come back, or any
They
opportunity.
like won't even they changed their
I blame
like,
it's Brad's fault. It's Brad hated IT.
Brad hates him.
I can't figure out why, but he did.
I think it's a distraction thing, Jimmy. Now, has that died down to the point where it's feasible now? There's a discussion to be had there. But if they feel like it hasn't, I don't begrudge them for it because there's a lot riding on this year. And even if something as silly as that could disrupt the chemistry, which has been unbelievable,
It's the risk, not
They know
necessarily the
best.
likelihood. Yeah. All right.
there's no
last time
reward to it. Yeah.
we'll hear from one more time. Here's and again, here's Jalen's reaction to Joe blocking the shot before we go. Okay. Trying to block the shot. Trying to get it in there. There he goes.
What was your reaction to that after the timeout?
No, I didn't see that, but that sounds like Joe Mazzulla, but I didn't see that one. No.
Have you seen him do it in the past? He said he's done that before.
Yeah, I've definitely seen him do it
He
in the
knows
past.
he's weak. He
And
knows.
like if
Jalen knows.
Joe, if the guy like keeps trying to shoot, like Joe will just keep playing defense. Like he'll take it as far as he needs to. But nah, I missed that one. I wish I seen it though.
I mean, they like it.
That's so funny. No, I don't.
Like,
look, I don't mean that
he's
as in like
smiling,
Jalen is
like,
like,
he
is making fun
likes
of
it.
him. Yeah, I don't think he's making fun of him. I think he just knows, just like that sounds like some shit he would do. Like he's just like, yeah,
Oh,
sure.
that's
like.
yeah.
that's
That's totally something Joe would
Yeah.
do. Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
think he dislikes it. Don't get me wrong here.
Look,
Like, hey, don't come for me in the comment section.
If the guys are going to take the shot, that's
It's
the
just
best
funny.
line. He'll just keep playing defense.
So
He
good.
went
Yeah,
on
like,
to
it's not a big deal at all.
he went on
Oh,
the
yeah,
praise.
that's Joe.
He went
By
on
the way,
the
this
praise
is
show.
always what I think of with Joe Mazzulla is Crazy Joe Davola. I always think of that, of the Seinfeld thing. The Crazy
He
Joe
went on to
Mazzulla.
praise Joe's coaching too, saying we're all in this together. That's what creates the environment, alluding to stuff
Yeah, I
like
think he
that. It's
likes
a
it.
respect level. There's no hierarchies. Joe sets the tone coming in and being prepared first. He's diligent. He allows us to be who we are. We haven't had so many lapses this year. We've been the focused team, the smarter team. That's coaching.
I, honestly, like the season's not complete until he actually gets a piece of one, right?
Yeah.
Like he has to block one.
He's got to get one.
I'm literally
Trust
only
me, John. He's trying.
I'm only gonna watch for that the rest of the year. I don't care about anything else. Like I want him to make contact with a shot.
He wants to.
I want it to happen.
He wants to.
when the score's close. It's a close game. That happens. Just see what happens.
I bet if they had a situation like a couple years ago where you were missing like 8 guys with the COVID, like he would have tried to suit up and play. There's no doubt. He would have been talking to Brad. He would have been like, "Is there any way?" That just feels like where this stems from here. I can't. I just I have to see the other times he did it, right? Like, did he just kind of like, throw his arm out there? The guy was right next to him, so he kind of just like put his arm up behind him or like yelled at a guy. Because I have never seen him walk on the court, get in a stance, and like full like, contest. It was crazy. It was
full extension.
Crazy.
Yeah.
That was a sight to see.
It's awesome.
This guy,
the more I watch this,
I honestly believe for real that the NBA will actually probably in the next 48 hours tell him to never do that again. And then it'll be over. I don't think there's any question that's going to happen. I think they'll be like,
won't be a fine or anything, but yeah.
I don't think anybody knew it, and I think they'll be like, wait, he's what? And they'll be like, you can never, ever go do something like that, interfering with the players. Like, you could cause it. Ever are you allowed to? Like, it's going to
imagine if a fight. What would have happened if there was a fight after that? Like, it would have been the worst look ever.
And there would have just been a fight.
Joe would have been doing that.
I don't think it's Bobby. There wouldn't have been a fight.
Broken
There
him
wouldn't have
out
been a
or some
fight
shit.
over that.
Putting them in a
Like,
sleeper hold. Like, that's what would have happened.
Jimmy, what would you have done if you were?
Wasn't enough there.
What would you have done?
Maybe just a little back and forth. Just a little back and forth. Like a couple words back and forth, and on your way. Like, he wasn't even close to blocking it.
Right, and that's the.
He's
big
also like
there.
6 feet. Like, when's he gonna block a shot?
Hold on. What did Josue say though?
No offense, but like, I don't think he was worried about him blocking a shot.
Jimmy, would you
You're
give him a
right.
second? What did Josue say?
You said the KG thing, which to me is very different. Like, guys do that all the time, and he's a player. But like, you're at the rim, the ball is up there, you just kind of grab it. To like step on the floor, and Jimmy's right. He wasn't gonna block him.
I mentioned Doc. I'm not talking about Philadelphia or Milwaukee Doc. I'm talking about 08 Doc. Like, can you imagine in those years be like, hey, like that would be a thing. Phil Jackson would be like, what's going on here? Like, imagine against the Lakers or even like during the finals. Like, yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's Joe. I'm not like,
who knows? Maybe they love
it, but it's
I'm
a little
not
weird.
disgusted.
Yeah.
I'm just stunned.
No, I don't think you're disgusted.
It was funny. I'm glad he did it.
Me too.
I'm not as crazy about it as you guys are.
I'm not disgusted. I thought it was just hilarious.
No, I'm not even. I just think it's so funny.
Hilarious. Anyway, that's it. We've gone on quite a bit. We are done. When's the next one? Are we Saturday or Sunday? I forget.
Sunday
in Washington. Bobby's heading down. We'll have a show, 6:00 game. And that's it. That's what we're gonna do. I'm not gonna ask for final thoughts. We've been talking for quite a while, guys. If you have one, you got to sneak it in fast.
I have a final thought. I can't believe he tried to block that
Jimmy
shot.
starts going off his checklist of things he has to talk about.
He's a third string center.
What did you want?
What do you want from him?
Did we get no Luke talk? Is this the first time?
No, we didn't. We're not going to do it. We intentionally avoided it.
We didn't talk Drew either. Drew had a 10-0 turnover game.
While we're messing around and trying to get off the air, we're still looking for Garden Report isms for our bracket. Anyone wants to sneak one in late? Let us know, because we have a few, but we're a couple short. So if you have a couple more, great. If not, we'll wrap it.
Send him in.
We got that bracket, man. That bracket.
If you're watching on YouTube after the fact, leave them in the comments.
Yeah, throw them in afterwards. If you think of it, throw it on our Twitter. Doesn't matter. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Turn on your notifications. Like us. Blorp. The count is, what's the count? I don't know. I try to get as many as possible and then pare it down to a number that works.
Let's just say we're at 10. We need
let's just get as many as possible.
We need a few. We're close to 16, but honestly, like, if I could have gone further, I would have, or I could do first round buys with the top 4 seeds if we get to 20 or whatever, 18, doesn't matter. We can have fun with it, but at least 16. Yeah, J King, better watch out. So good.
Oh, that's got to make it. It's going to be a good bracket this year.
We have Thanasis Manning as one, I think.
Yeah,
King Bobby works.
Yeah.
We got to get that rematch. Get it sponsored and all that.
By the way, Jimmy, we've been holding JB back.
Are
Yes.
pies too old?
Hand
Are they-
up. Hand up.
Okay. Okay,
Pies are
Julius.
one of those things that stand the test of time, so pies might make it.
Every year
Are
we
you wearing a
talk about it.
tie? That was this year, John.
What was the tie thing? I forget that.
Not strong
That was
enough.
when
Joe
Joe
Mazzulla
asked me
being
about
like,
why I was wearing a tie.
Oh,
you wearing
you
a
and the
tie?
tie. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about something with Gary? Like, do you have kids? How about that?
Oh, do you have kids? Is in
Joe
there?
Gary's a
In
thing.
quotation,
Okay,
that do
cool.
you have kids?
Do you have
Slash
kids? Is its own
old article.
entry? Huh?
Yeah. The farts in
Yeah.
there.
And Joe versus
That's a-
Gary outright is its own. Yeah.
Joe versus Gary, never-ending battle.
Yeah.
Joe
it
would
is good. All right.
destroy me. Are you
We should
kidding
get
me?
Gary. We should get Gary on someday.
Yo, we
Yeah.
should. That's a great call. He would do it.
Joe was a Division I player who made the Final Four. He would beat me 21-0.
Yeah, that would be.
Oh,
awesome.
Yo, he beat John
yeah.
Wall.
He
in
would
that
also-
huge game.
He would. He only way he wouldn't beat you 21. I think is if he murdered you in the middle of the game before he got to 21.
This
Just
quality, yeah,
cold
yeah,
blood,
DQ.
just like stabbed.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, thank you guys again for hanging out. We are back on Sunday.
Absolutely.
Not everybody. Not everybody.
Well, happy birthday,
and hope-
Joel, my brother.
Oh,
Joel
happy
Pavon.
birthday!
Joel.
Also, no. On top of
Co-host
that,
of the Causeway Street
who did that?
podcast.
I didn't want to do that.
Not me.
On
My hands
top
are
of
up.
that, happy
I'm putting a birthday
birthday!
video together right now. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't do it.
In addition to Joel, happy birthday to one of the unsung heroes at the CLNS Media Network, Guy Neer.
Guy, it's Guy's birthday.
Guy's birthday.
Guy has the same birthday as Joel.
Started as a lowly sales assistant. Now he's a lowly vice president of sales. No, Guy's
look at
awesome. Guy legitimately, it has probably, done more for this company than anybody over the last
Any nice
year,
thing. So
year and a half. So yes, happy birthday, Guy Neer.
happy
He and Nick
birthday,
are
Guy. I'm
Right
recording
now-
this. I'm gonna text
No
it to him.
idea.
Happy birthday, Guy. We're live. How old is
Yeah.
Guy? Do we know?
I do know
You
he's
could just watch the
exactly
show, but
30
all right,
years
there we go.
old.
Oh, it's his
Still recording.
30th.
Yeah.
My phone must have been off when the birthday invites were going out tonight, or like bad service. Probably. That's okay.
Yeah. So Guy Neer,
30.
happy birthday, happy 30th. He's on his
birthday, Guy.
14th bowl of vodka with Nick Gelso right now.
That
after watching this
explains
video.
it.
Bowl.
That explains the
Not even
vodka.
cup, bowl.
Shit. If Guy's 30,
Yeah,
man,
Nick-
we're getting older.
You
Jeez.
drink it by the bowlful. Yeah.
Guy was
30th
barely
birthday.
21 when I met that dude. Damn. We're
Yeah,
getting old.
He's been
Oh,
around.
well.
Yeah, it happens. But
Happy
anyway,
birthday, Guy.
ha-
Happy
2
birthday.
years
happy
younger
birthday,
than
Guy.
me,
Happy birthday, Joel. And thank you
Love you,
guys for
bro.
watching. As always, being fun in the chat. And bringing it and keeping us entertained and keeping the conversation moving. We actually do really appreciate that. So again, thank you guys for hanging out. We will see you on Sunday.
Wait, Amit's got an outro for us, I think.
No, he doesn't.
He said he was going to work on an outro.
He had a phenomenal game.
Horford's out. I think it's an option.
That did not sound like a chair.
It was a freaking chair. It does sound like a chair.